Hello, I am R.V. Pamankatti, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department from Sant Gajanan Maharaj College of Engineering. In this video, we will see fundamentals of machine design. In this unit, you are going to learn the following points: concept of machine design, types of loads, factor of safety, its selection and significance, theories of failure, phases of design of machine elements, review and selection of various engineering material properties, and IS coding for ferrous materials. Then, factors governing selection of engineering materials. Concept of machine design. What is meant by machine? Machine is a device to perform useful work when some form of energy is supplied to it. A machine consists of machine elements. Each part of machine which has motion with respect to some other part is called a machine element. It is important to note that each machine element may consist of several parts which are manufactured separately. Simple machines are, for example, lever, power screw. These are the simple machines. And engine, washing machines, these are termed as a complex machine. Okay. Now, what is design? The term design clearly encompasses a wide range of meaning. The design is the criteria of the design is the creation of new and better devices and improving the existing ones. From the study of existing ideas, a new idea has to be conceived. Machine part fails when the stresses induced in external forces exceeds the strength. The external loads cause the internal stresses in the elements, and the component size depends on the stress developed. Now, what is meant by machine design? Machine design is defined as the use of scientific principles, technical information, and imagination in the description of a machine or a mechanical system to perform a specific functions with maximum economy and efficiency. It is also defined as it is the art of developing new ideas for the construction of machines and expressing those ideas in the form of plans and drawings. Machine design is the process of selection of material, shapes, size, and arrangement of mechanical elements so that the result of machine will perform the prescribed task. The dimensions of any part are established in designing the part, usually as a result of computation or practical judgment, experience, and best common practices followed on similar parts. These dimensions are then suitably rounded off to fix their basic or nominal sizes. The dimensions actually obtained in manufacturing a part are called actual sizes. Now, what is meant by design stress? The design of machine parts is concerned with the determination of dimensions of the parts. In this process, a designer should make sure that the stresses developed in a part are less than the maximum allowable strength of the material. The maximum allowable stress is referred as the design stress, and its value depends upon many factors, namely the type of load, the service conditions, the life of cycle, and the safety considerations. The main objective of machine design subject is to develop relations between the machines of machine elements and the material strength in order to achieve a reasonable geometry of part which will not fail during its service period. Types of loads. Load is defined as any external force acting on a machine part. There are a number of different ways in which load can be applied to a member. The following types of loads are important from the subject point of view: static loads, fluctuating loads, impact or shock loads, live load, or it is also known as variable load. Then, what is meant by static load? Static load is also known as dead or non-fluctuating loads. The load which does not change in magnitude or direction called as static load. A static load is defined as a force which is gradually applied to a mechanical component and which does not change its magnitude and direction with respect to time. What are the examples of static load? Weight of books on a table, weight of building acting on the ground. And dead loads are static forces that are relatively constant for extended time. Dead load include the self weight of floor or pillars or roofing structure or body weight on skeleton. A static load is slowly varying load applied at a point. The magnitude of load is constant, direction of load is constant, point of application of load is fixed. Now, what is meant by fluctuating load? Means dynamic loading. It is the load which is time dependent and it is considered as cyclic. Dynamic loads are forces that have change in either size, position or direction. Examples of fluctuating load or dynamic load are which are varies with time: wind, earthquake, machinery, occupants means walking, dancing, exercising. Now, what is meant by impact or shock load? The load which applied with some initial velocity is known as impact load. If the load is applied rapidly, it is considered impact. When a component is subjected to a sudden load or when the duration of loading is less than about half the natural period of vibration, such loading is called impact loading. Now we will see what is meant by live load or variable load. Live loads are the loads that are non-permanent. A load is said to be live or variable when it changes continuously. Live loads are more variable and uncertain. Live loads are generally moving or unstable and are dynamic or environmental. Now here we see the factor of safety, its selection and significance. While designing a component, it is necessary to provide a sufficient reserve strength in case of accident. This is achieved by taking a suitable factor of safety. Means the factor of safety is defined as is the ratio of failure stress to the allowable stress. There are two commonly occurring failures in structural and machine members are ductile failures involving excess of deformation extending to plastic stage and brittle failure in which a case fracture occurs without significant deformation. Ductile material should always be stressed within the elastic range in order to avoid plastic deformation, thus limiting the stress which can be induced in a member is yield stress. For brittle material characterized by small deformation may be stressed up to ultimate stress beyond which sudden failure may occur. So ultimate stress we are going to consider as a maximum stress. In this slide I have shown the formulas for factor of safety for ductile material and for brittle material where yield point is not well defined. The selection of factor of safety depends upon the following factors: effect of failure, type of load, degree of accuracy in force analysis, cost of component, service conditions. What are the significance of factor of safety? There are number of factors which are difficult to evaluate accurately in design analysis. Some of the factors are as follows: uncertainty in external force, variation in material property, variation in dimensions of component. In addition to these factors, the number of assumptions made in the design analysis in order to simplify the calculations may not be exactly valid in working conditions. The factor of safety ensures against these uncertainties and unknown conditions. Now we will see theories of failure. Theories of elastic failure provide a relationship between the strength of machine component subjected to complex state of stresses with the mechanical properties obtained in tension test. The theory behind the various classical failure theory is that whatever is responsible for failure in standard tensile test will also be responsible for failure under all other conditions of static loading. Behavior of material is complicated, and as a human we like to make some certain ideas easier to understand. We are going to see these following theories of failure: maximum principal stress, maximum shear stress theory, maximum distortion energy theory. It is also known as von Mises theory. Maximum principal stress theory. This theory based on failure in tension compression and ignores the possibility of failure due to shearing stress. Therefore, it is not used for ductile materials. The theory states that the failure of mechanical component subjected to biaxial or triaxial stresses occurs when the maximum principal stress reaches the yield or ultimate strength of material. Experimental investigation suggests that the maximum principal stress theory gives a good predictions for brittle materials. However, it is not recommended for ductile materials. Maximum shear stress theory. Failure occurs when maximum shear stress at any point in component equal to maximum shear stress in the standard specimen of the tension test when the yielding start. Maximum distortion energy. It is also known as von Mises theory. It is widely accepted criteria for yielding for ductile isotropic material is based on energy concept. In this approach, the total elastic energy is divided into two parts, one associated with volumetric changes of the material and other causing shear distortions. Because of tensile test is our principal source of material strength data, we will compare the distortion energy per unit volume to the distortion energy per unit volume present in the tensile test specimen at failure. Now we will see the phases of machine design. The complete design process from start to finish is often outlined in the figure below. The process begins with an identification of need and a decision to do something about it. After many iterations, the process ends with the presentation of plans for satisfying the need. Depending on nature of the design task, several design phases may be related throughout the life of product from inception to termination. The following are the phases of machine design, which includes identification of need, definition of problem, synthesis, analysis and optimization, evaluation, presentation. Usually, classroom problems involves a few steps, while practical problems may involve some more steps. In this slide, I am given the fundamental equations used in the design of machine elements, which are very much helpful. Now we are going to solve some basic problems which are based on above equations. A 200 mm long steel bar has circular cross section of 25 mm diameter. Determine the stress, deformation and axial strain induced in the bar when it is subjected to compressive force 40 kN. Take material properties Young's modulus equal to 200 gigapascal. You have to see the step-by-step solution for this problem. Here, a cantilever beam is subjected to a point load as shown in figure. Draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. The solution is shown by step. One more problem we are going to see here. A 0.4 meter long bar with a square section is to carry a force of 20 kN, while deformation in the bar is to be limited to 0.2 mm. Yield stress for the material of the bar is 240 MPa. Taking factor of safety as 2, determine the dimensions of the section. Take material property, Young's modulus is equal to 200 GPa. Students have to solve this problem by using strength criteria and rigidity criteria and select the largest value in order to find the dimension of square section. The solution is given step by step. You have to refer it. Thank you. Here I am wind up this video. The rest points we will see in the next part of video. Thank you once again.